Dr. Arguello, thank you for a second time of carving out time on an afternoon when I know how busy you are to really help educate not only our patients but me and share some of your wisdom to for this documentary. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Matt. It's always a pleasure being here. I appreciate being here. You invited me to be part of this project, and also for your effort of coming over here to Denver and driving the long distance to make it happen today. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And for our viewers, just so the reason we're here a second time is I had some audio difficulties last time. And so when we went to go to the post and look at the production side of things, we figured, we wanted to do it right and not cut any corners. So, and when I figured some of that out, Dr. Arguello was willing to meet me at the practice again when I was in town last time at 5 a.m. in the morning. I haven't met many doctors that'll do that, so that helped motivate me to come back and to do this. So I appreciate that willingness.
Goes both ways.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your background, just so that, I know I've gotten to hear it a little bit, but tell me a little bit about your background. Start with just you personally. Where are you from? Tell me a little who you are.
Sure. I was born and raised in Mexico City. I did actually my dental school in Mexico City. But early in the game, I was involved with the sports. So I picked the sport of fencing, and I've been doing that, or I was doing that for many years. And that helped me to meet other horizons and the world and international venues and things like that, because I did represented Mexico at all international competitions throughout the world. And that inspired me to look at other opportunities in my life. So when I went back to Mexico and finished my dental school there, I had an opportunity to come to the United States and integrate myself to the team of research at the Forsyth Institute back then, which is affiliation with Harvard University. So then I did many years of research in microbiology and periodontal disease itself. And that inspired me to continue on my journey into becoming a specialist. I was only a dentist, and as a foreign trained dentist in a different country, you don't have the opportunity to practice dentistry here unless you go through a revalidation program here in the States. So I did that, and I finally finished my program many years ago. So when I moved to Denver, looking for new opportunities and family ties as well, I have settled here ever since. It's been 10 years since I've been here in Denver, caring to our community. But more than anything else, it's been a great experience because this journey in the clinical practice have shown me and taught me many, many things along the way, dealing with patients and actually getting to know patients at the personal level, becoming friends with them at the personal level had enriched my perspective of things in life.
Why dentistry? So before that, when you say you represented, so some of the homework I did on you represented Mexico in the Olympics in fencing, am I correct?
Yeah, well, I was part of the fencing team, and just for the viewers, fencing is not a sport that is commonly known, right? Yeah. You get do it in college and so on and so forth, but the reality of it is a large group of people in the world that do it, and is one of the first sports in the Olympic Games. So I had the opportunity to be part of the Olympic team and train the Olympic Center in Mexico for many years and move forward from there. That was many pounds ago.
So why fencing? What got you into that? I mean, I'm just curious because you're right. It's not something that I don't know too many people that are good at fencing. My son likes to play with a sword, but I mean, it's a big deal. And so tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I would like to say a very fantastic story that why methodically I have chosen fencing as a sport, but the reality is it was a girl.
It's
Yes.
amazing what they do.
Oh, the story of our lives, right?
Right.
So the reality of it is that I was already training for different sports in the Olympic Center. And a friend of mine, we were just interested in the girls that were good looking in the fencing hall. And the coach at the time that became my biggest mentor in my life, he acknowledged that we were there very often. And he said, well, you guys, when I hit on the girls, might as well do their sport. So he pulled us over to do the sport and then just started doing it for fun. One thing led to another and then changed sports. So
became your largest mentor.
Yeah, what happens with this, I grew up, I'm an only child of a single mother.
Okay.
Right, so I grew up in a working class in Mexico where I didn't have an structured family per se. When you grow in a lack of a structured family, many times you see opportunities in your life that could deviate you from the pathway that you should be following, right? Good or bad, that is, right? Sports certainly was my opportunity to shine, to do certain things in the good aspect of it, but unfortunately my school suffered throughout that process. So when I entered the Olympic Center, and my mentor and my fencing coach, we became very tight, and he invested numerous hours and effort to train me. He also conditioned me to go back to school, and he knew that I didn't have per se a father figure in my life, someone with the authority to guide me into the right path, and I'm sure a lot of people identify with that. So along the process, he was instrumental to get me back to school. And that, what he did is, obviously he passed away now. I mean, he is no longer with us, but the teachings and the guidance that he gave me in a critical time in my life, which is perhaps as a teenager, when you're transitioning from an adolescence to a manhood, and there is a lot of different things that you don't know what pathway to take, he guided me to the right pathway, and his name was Enrique Cortez. So
I love hearing that when somebody's willing to invest the time and look at how he might not be with us any longer, but his legacy is, right?
Indeed. So.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
No, my pleasure.